All right, welcome, guys. This is Breakfast with the Brand. I am your host, Junior Frederick, and you are now tuned in to the number one podcast in the world for entrepreneurs and leaders who want to go from bland to industry leading brand. If you are now tuning in live, I want you to do two things. Number one, put some flames in the chat. Number two, let us know where you're listening in from. We have a fire show for you today. I'm going to invite Shaan on in a bit, but I want to say phenomenal morning to Coach B. Phenomenal morning to the people on Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as wherever you may be looking. All right, so let's get Shaan out here. Let's get the show started. I'm super excited. So Shaan, when you're ready, let's come out. Let's get the show started, man. I'm super excited. It is a phenomenal morning in the islands. How is it in
Phenomenal
New
morning
York?
in the islands. It's a phenomenal morning in New York. It's a phenomenal morning in the U.S. too, sir.
Of course, of course. But there's phenomenal, then there's phenomenal. So
Okay. Oh, there's phenomenal, and then there's phenomenal. Guys,
yeah,
I think he's trying to challenge us with the fun in the sun and the
a little,
sand with the brand.
a
Listen,
little.
guys, I know why he's super excited. He might be a little bit lightheaded because we were up last night until about 10 or 11 o'clock, weren't we?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
we were.
VIP from 7 to 11 almost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we were. And guys, if you don't know, the $1 million brand challenge is going on. It's actually already live. We had the first day yesterday, second day is today. If for some reason you're not in the $1 million brand challenge, the link will be available later during this broadcast. So Shan, before we really jump in, I see we have a couple people watching. I want to say phenomenal morning. I see Tiffany Davis. Phenomenal morning to you. Jackie Thompson, phenomenal morning. Coach B, please, guys, when you come in, put some flames in the chat. It's a flame culture over here. So I see. Okay, Jackie says, can we bring up that comment, Mr. B?
I already started. I said, look, we starting early. Go ahead.
Let
We
me see
starting
that.
early.
All right. Okay. All right. There we go. I renewed my passport. I'm coming to St. Lucia. Flames in the chat. Okay.
Good morning. Good morning. Let's
Great
go.
morning. Great
Early. We
morning.
starting
Let's
early.
go. Yeah, we have
Coming early.
Michelle. Thank you so much, Jackie. I definitely look forward to seeing everybody here. At some point, we will connect, right, Shan?
Oh,
Um,
what? We're doing
yeah.
it. You know when we doing it. We're doing it in August. Guys, if you don't already know, we already made the announcement. I've got the location. I'm locking in the date. Myrtle Beach, August. Myrtle Beach, August. Fun in the sun and sand with the brand. Business to brand boot camp. B2B. Get ready for it. That's what I'm going to say. Get ready for it. I'm going to go ahead and put it out there. B2B, business to brand boot camp. Not St. Lucia, not yet.
You see that? Look,
Not yet. Myrtle Beach.
guys, I tell you,
Myrtle Beach
he
first.
wants to come in.
Myrtle
He wants
Beach
to come in.
first. We're going to be out there, but Myrtle Beach first, guys. Fun in the sun and sand with the brand.
Uh-huh.
Let's grow. Let's grow. Yes, August.
That's
Heat,
right.
fun, and business. Business to brand boot camp, B2B boot camp all day.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir. It's upon us.
Yes, it
COVID
is.
going to respect it. They sent me a letter. They sent me a letter. They said it was okay. I said, okay. It's okay. They said it's okay. I said, okay, let's go. Yeah, I've
Nice.
been waiting for this. Yes, sir.
Very nice. Very nice. I see a lot of other people coming in. I see Jasmine. So Jasmine, phenomenal morning to you. Jackie with the K, phenomenal morning to you. I see Ty.
For
Genta,
those,
phenomenal morning.
we got to clarify. For those who don't know why she's Jackie with a K, we have Jackie with a C, right?
Yes.
So we gotta distinguish who's who and what's what. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Listen, if you have not signed up yet for the $1 million brand challenge, we did 3 hours last night after Clubhouse, which was absolutely phenomenal. Clarity was set. Intentions were set, numbers were set, targets were set, and we're going to hit them. You set a target so you can hit it. And then we went on and we talked about people because people are the most important part of your organization. As a matter of fact, there's no organization without people. There's no business without people. Without people, there's a person. And that's you. And you're not going too far without people. So trust me, if you were not there, you want to be there today. You want to be there today. You want to be there tomorrow. We're going to be going for 6 hours today and 6 hours tomorrow. 3 for general admission, 3 for the VIP. Guys, listen, you do not want to miss it because you know how we give it away. Anyway, it's about time for that break. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Right. We're about to take a break in 1 minute, but for the people who were on the challenge yesterday, I want you to put some flames in the chat if you enjoyed yourself to let the other people know.
Put a takeaway in there too.
Yeah, put a takeaway. So if you were not on the challenge, for my people who were there, let them know what they missed. Put one of your takeaways in the chat and also put some flames. We'll be back in, I think, 30, couple seconds, maybe 30, 40 seconds. Mr. B, whenever you're ready, let's take us to that break.
Let's grow.
All right, guys, welcome back. This is Breakfast with the Brand. I am your host, Junior Frederick, and this is the number one podcast in the world for entrepreneurs and leaders who want to go from bland to industry leading brand. Shan, let's
Yes,
talk. Let's talk about the challenge. Oh,
let's
before
talk
we
about
do,
it.
I see we have lots of comments here. Mr. B, can we start bringing them up? I think people are putting some takeaways in the comments right there. All right, I see some flames. Okay, takeaway. So Jackie's takeaway is people. Humility allows leadership to develop. Yes, I remember. I remember that.
Very
I
key.
definitely remember that. Let's get another one, Mr. B. All right. So the other Jackie says the sessions last night were amazing as always. I know this weekend will be 100x. All right. There we go.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
keep them coming. Keep them coming. I see we have some more. Employees are meant to be led, not managed. True.
That's right. That's right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good takeaways.
Yes. Let's get two more. I never really thought about what human resource meant. Shan broke it down and helped me to know what to do with my people when they come. Very important. Very important. Very important.
Success. Success. Yes, yes, yes. Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yes, sir. So let me ask you, right? What
I
was
see something else. I'm sorry. I see
oh,
something else by
there
Jackie.
is.
Bring that up.
Okay.
That's
Let's
true.
see.
When we have clarity, the universe will conspire with us to reach our goals. That's a fact.
Yeah, that's
Jackie
all
Thompson
fact.
put something else up there. Bring up what Jackie says. the other things she says. Absolutely phenomenal. Boom.
Coaching is the
Coaching.
most important development tool.
Very much so. Very much so. I can remember when I first encountered it. When I first encountered it, higher level educational systems, very structural, very structural, a little bit of stratification, right? Very targeted. It was a very, very targeted population that was being provided this high level executive coaching and development, primarily leadership development. And it was something new to me. And when I realized it, when it dawned on me, I said, it's not only something new to me, it's something new to the pool from which I come. It doesn't exist there. It was at that point that I decided to become a bridge, that I decided to become a conduit and kind of bridge the gap and allow information from one sector to be provided within another sector to empower people who were not empowered through that development tool. I think that's about as nicely as I can say it. It's pretty nice, right?
Very nice. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Very good.
Yeah, I couldn't have said it better myself. So when you talk about that, Chan, how does that relate to the mission of this business?
Oh, I'm so you've heard me say before, million millionaires, right? You've heard me say that before. But I also want to say that coaching is the conduit. Coaching is the methodology. Coaching is the methodology. You've seen phenomenal things happen in the sports world through coaching. And we have seen phenomenal things take place in the business world through coaching. Coaching is not crutches, and coaching is not couches. Coaching is facilitation. Coaching is facilitation. And when I think of facilitation, the thing that comes to my mind is the person who has been through something or is coming from something and has the guardrails. So you see people in physical therapy that have guardrails and they use the guardrails to learn how to walk again, right? And I can remember a gentleman that I used to be closely associated with when we started moving into the business sector. He said to me, he said something that was so interesting to me. He said, it's hard trying to find your footing. And he said, get your legs under you. It's hard trying to walk in this new world. It's almost like we were babies in a new world. So as a child or as a baby or as someone who's not used to walking, you have to develop those muscles again to walk in a new world. So what coaching does is it provides the guardrails and facilitates the process for you to go from one space or one level to another. It helps you get your legs under you. It helps you to develop and cross sectors into a new world where without coaching, you might not be as successful or be as successful as fast.
Right. So basically it's I guess it's a self-discovery process.
Yes.
That's what
Yes,
you're
it
saying.
is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And there's no guru here. Everybody wants to be a self-styled guru, right? There is no guru. This is a group activity where one lights another one up. Think of the candles. Think of the candles. One lit candle lights another, lights another, lights another, lights another, lights another, and then the whole world is on fire with this passion and this purpose and this tool, this development tool, which is coaching. I see a world. I see a world of people empowered to make their yearly income monthly, their monthly income weekly, and their weekly income daily, and have the impact to touch tens of millions and hundreds of millions.
That is super powerful. That is super powerful. So, a million millionaires using the power of coaching. And let me ask the crowd this question: how many of you would like to be one of those million millionaires? Put some flames in the chat. If you'd like to be amongst those million millionaires, put some flames in
And
the chat.
and let's not, I don't want everybody to get consumed by the numbers. So I want you to think of the impact attached to it. Because money, like coaching, is a tool and a resource. It's not the end all be all. What it is, what does money do? If you're on a road trip, if you're on a road trip and your car runs out of gas, what does money do? It's a tool and a resource. It's not the end all be all. Sitting up in your bank doesn't do it any good. Sitting up in the bank account doesn't do it any good. What if you chose to save your money while you're on a trip and you run out of gas? What would happen if you choose to save your money and you're on a trip and you run out of gas and you're not where you're trying to go yet? Money in the bank don't do you no good. None. However, when you use it as a tool and a resource, then you can fuel your tank to go the rest of the way, to impact the rest of the people, to get where you're trying to go. It's not about the money. It's about the meaningfulness. It's not about the income. It's about the impact. It's not about the profit. It's about the people and the purpose. It's not about the valuation. It's about the value. It's not about the compensation. It's about the character. So I don't want you to focus on the minimal. Focus on the maximum. And you'll get the minimum when you focus on the maximum. If you focus on the minimum, all you'll get is the minimum.
You know, something that I always say is money is the score, but serving people is the game.
That's right.
And when I hear you say that, something that comes to mind is, and I've heard you tell the story before about, I guess it was your son, right? And you took him to was it a shoe store? And you asked him to select. I guess it was what color shoe he wanted. And I
Well,
think
no, that's not the story. The
that's
story
not it.
is, no, the story,
Uh-huh.
you're close though. The story
All
is
right.
that I
Okay.
brought him a pair of shoes.
There we go.
Now
Okay.
in Harlem, we have an infatuation always with white on white, clean on
Yes.
clean, sleek on sleek, and fleek on fleek, right? So white on white, Air Forces, or even shell-toed Adidas. Like I'm old school. So shell-toed, Stan Smitty's, white on white, Air Force Ones. So I would always get these white on whites. I promise you, I would recycle them. Like my kids went through 20 of them, right? I probably went through 30, 40 of them. But I got him the white on whites, and he thanked me, and it dawned on me for a moment. It clicked for me to ask him a question and go into a teaching moment. He said, "Thank you, Dad. I love the sneakers." I said, "You love the sneakers?" He said, "I love the sneakers." I said, "Don't be attached to anything materialistic. Don't love them. You can like them. Don't love them." And I said, "How do you know that you like them?" He said, "Because I put them on and they feel good and I look good and I feel good and I feel good. You know, like how I say, you look good, you feel good, you do better." He said, "I like them. They fresh." That was the word too. They fresh. I said, "Well, how do you know that you wouldn't like a black pair more?" And he stopped for a moment and he thought about it. And I said, "See," I said, "Son, as you grow, as you develop, it's very important to have your own money. Because I got you the white on whites and you like the white on whites, but you like the white on whites because I got them for you. But if you went to the store with your own money, you might realize that you like the black ones. Or you might realize that you like a whole different kind of sneaker. But because I like the white on whites, I get you the white on whites and you appreciate the white on whites because I got them for you. But you want to be able to have the money in the future to be able to afford your own opinion. Many of us come from a breakdown in economics. We come from a breakdown in economics. You guys hear me talk about Harlem, Harlem, Harlem. But I was raised in Harlem. Harlem was the demographic that my parents were in. So because I was raised in Harlem, there's a lot of things that I was subject to because I was in Harlem. When I got older, it was like, okay, well, the values changed. The values change. Sometimes your values come from your economic subsect or your economic situation, the place where you happen to grow up, or the tax bracket that you happen to be in. When you pull yourself into another tax bracket, you might realize that your values change. And those values that you had before were not really values that were your own. Just like my son loving the white on whites, that might not have been an opinion that was his own. That was based on the fact that he did not control his own economy. When you control your own economy, then you get to realize, what do I really like? Where do I really want to live? How do I really want to dress? You want to be able to afford your own opinion. And that's what business allows you to do, to find out what you really like. It's a self-discovery process.
That's right. Guys, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll be diving more into this subject. Let's go. All right, guys, welcome back. This is Breakfast with the Brand, the number one podcast in the world for entrepreneurs and leaders who want to go from bland to industry leading brand. So, Shan,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
let me tell you that I love hearing that story because it's super, super powerful. And you telling that story actually changed my mindset a little bit.
Good.
And it helped me to realize that a lot of our people are stuck in this sort of paradigm or mindset, and it helped me to realize that I was stuck in it too.
Mm.
The funny thing is when you're in something, you can't see yourself, right?
No, you don't know. You don't know that you're in it.
Exactly. And most people, they tend not to be critical of themselves. Like if you tell somebody, you're this way, they look at you like, what are you talking about? But it's good to be critical of yourself sometimes. And it helped me to realize that a lot of us are stuck in this sort of paradigm. I've heard one person refer to it as the LOLD paradigm. LOLD.
Okay.
So LOLD, you ready, guys? This is a pen moment. LOLD stands for limited options, limited desires.
Come on. Come on. Limited
Write that down.
options, limited desire.
Yeah.
Mm.
Limited options,
Okay,
limited desires.
okay, okay, okay. You become the word, one of the words is complacent or satisfied. You settle for less.
That's right. You do. And it's almost like your son, for example. He technically didn't have limited options. I'm sure you could have bought a different pair of shoes for him, but in his mind, right at that moment, the option was the white shoe. But when you open up his mind and you say, "What about the black one?" There was another option. What about the red one? There was another option. What about a yellow one, a green one? You have more options, and so you have more desires. But when we close our mind off to options, or we don't have the perception of the options, then we have limited desires.
Yes,
So I
yes,
just wanted
yes.
to put that in there, guys. LOLD, write it down. Limited options, limited desires, and
Let's go. Let's go.
and
I gotta make an announcement, guys. I gotta make an announcement because I just received a call. So we've had multiple people lined up for this weekend specifically, right?
yes,
And one person wasn't able to make it. Planes are funny. It's Mother's Day weekend. But I just got off the phone with the gentleman, and I'm pretty sure Mr. B is going to be able to get him in. Now, listen to this. You heard Junior just talk about limited options, limited desires. So I just spoke to him, and he said, my team and I were on a mountain. He said,
did
I'm
you
back
say a
in the
mountain?
room. Yeah, yeah. He said, my team and I were back on a mountain. So you guys have heard me talk about NIL, the name, image, likeness, the athletic department, and the multiple people. Guys, open your minds. Open your minds to opportunity. When we talk about coaching and we talk about branding, when we talk about business, it's not only black and white, or it's not only in the vein that you think it's in. This thing grows. This thing grows. I think he's Mr. B. Hit me if you let me know if he's in the office on the back end. Is he in the room? Is he in the studio? Is he able to be brought on? Okay, fantastic. Listen, guys, we're going to bring in someone that you may not know, but someone that you will know very soon. He is the newest entrant to the Shaan Rais family. His name is Jerry Forrest, otherwise known as the Slugger, right? He has his next fight is on the 14th, heavyweight boxer. And bring Mr. Forrest on out here to Breakfast with the Brand. Phenomenal. Slugger, what's going on,
Yes.
brother?
How y'all doing? Blessings, blessings, blessings. Yeah,
Blessings,
sorry,
blessings,
Okay.
sorry
brother.
that I'm late. Yeah, that's why I say I'm still like a little skin still a little wet from the. But yeah, I'm here. I'm
It's
here.
okay. It's okay, brother. So tell us first of all, welcome to the family, right? Welcome to the family. We're super glad that you're on, and we're glad that you were able to come on and make it. I know you said you just got off the mountain. What does that look like? Tell us what that looks like.
So Saturday morning we do sides of a mountain. Um, so in between what I was telling you about the whole appointments with doctors and stuff, just morning we do the Saturday morning run. So I went with them just morning. That's why I say like I literally rushed in, got out the car, called you, and like I just dropped my. That's why I said my skin and stuff is still like I'm still feeling.
It's
I'll
all
shower
good.
everything after this. Yeah,
It's
yeah. But
all
I'm
good.
feeling good
Yes,
though. It's
sir.
just
Yes,
Saturday
sir.
morning run, something
So
to loosen up.
your fight is on the 14th. Tell us a little bit about that. Where are you fighting? Who are you fighting? What does it look like?
Fighting Murat Pulev. He's He's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. We both been to the top. I'm war ranked. He is also war ranked. He's fought Anthony Joshua. He's fought a lot of guys also. So it should be a good fight. This fight should definitely kind of propel one of us again. Well, him again, if so, or me into a pretty comfortable realm of champions. You know, this fight could determine which one of us could fight for world titles, world rankings, similar things to
Let's
that.
go.
So
Let's
it's a
go.
huge thing.
Let's go. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So I know you're new to the people, and a lot of people are on the call. It's a lot of business entities, and they're going to be watching this for the months coming up. This goes live. We're going to block it in different places. So why don't you just tell people a little bit about your background, your ecology, like your belief system, where you come from? People want to know your story, Jerry.
Uh, Born in Louisiana. Um, the day I was born, pretty much I had a bowel movement inside my mother. We were rushed to the ER. Grandmother was called, said, come get your daughter. Well, come check on your daughter, come check on your grandson. Either one of them gonna make it through the night. If the family wants to see these guys, you kind of might want to come now because they're not gonna live. They get to the hospital. My mom's having basically a double blood fusion. She had one blood fusion, it was unsuccessful. Had another one. As she's doing that, they take me out of her, of course. They're gonna fly to me to New Orleans. All my vitals are dropping. So they tell my grandmother pretty much to say goodbye. You know what I mean? Like, start picking out funeral stuff, all this. So she's like, well, my grandson can't die because if he dies, my daughter's gonna want to die. She said, you got to be a slugger, you got to fight. Pretty instantly, my vitals started going up. I didn't have to fly out to New Orleans to the intensive care unit, and I was fine. That's kind of where it started for me. So the first name Slugger is not actually a boxing name. It's actually a family name that my family's called me since I was born. It just happens to go with Slugger. So we proceeded, and pretty much regular life. 12th grade, pretty much it was gang violence. Kid was getting jumped in high school. I pretty much broke it up. He was an 8th grader. We were in 12th grade. Broke it up. Next day at school, one of the gang members tried to fight me. Happened to be the leader of the gang. We fight after school. I mean, it's like with that fight, it was 12 cop cars that had to come on my street pretty much to break up. Like we had 5,000 kids in our school, so it was like maybe 800 kids on my street that day. It was ridiculous. So from there we had a lot of fist fights, like neighborhood fights, things of that nature. And from there, my dad was like, what I wanted to do in boxing, well, in life. Told him boxing, I always wanted to be like a boxer, a cop, something with defending people or helping. So it's be a boxer. My dad comes in, he's like, hey, look, I think I found you a gym. I'm like, what? We walk into the Moton, 21st and Jefferson, Newport News, Virginia, and Bilal Abdul Muhammad. And that day, I never left. Like I went in, never left, in boxing ever since. States, nationals as an amateur, and now I'm world ranked as a pro. It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm a nuclear electrician. So of course, the whole time I was boxing for the first 10 years, I was a nuclear electrician. So had a wife, had a kid. So of course, that's the journey that everyone knows of. They just see the end product, which is the nuclear electrician, boxing and getting on TV. But it's been a process since I was born. Definitely.
Very good. Very good. Guys, I hope everybody's paying attention. I hope everybody's paying attention. If you heard what I heard, you heard story. You heard brand origin story. And you see how Jerry's early brand origin story factors into his persona and his personal brand moving forward. It's not a facade. It's not something made up. It's really who he is. That's why he's comfortable coming on the camera with a t-shirt on, being his authentic self.
Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm definitely just first off alone for sure.
Yeah. So Jackie says Newport News. She lived in Hampton for 12 years. Let's go. Let's go. Coach B says lack of exposure can limit your ability to reach your goals and obtain your dreams. Jasmine says powerful story, Slugger. Listen, we are more than humbled to have you, right? And your aura tells us the same about yourself, that you're very humble, that you come from humble backgrounds and humble beginnings, and you're a married man with children, you're a father, a husband. Tell us a little bit about the nuclear engineer. Did I hear that correctly? Did you say nuclear engineer?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, well, at the age of 18, I started working for Verizon and Cox. Just doing contract work for them. Basically burying their underground utilities. My brother-in-law got me the job. Within about, I don't know, it was a brand new company for Verizon that we were contracting with. So within about a month, something happened. I'm 19. The guy that ran the company, I'm not sure what happened. He couldn't do it anymore. So the owner of the company was like, like I was basically the first employee. So he was like, would you like to, run this company? So I'm running this company for Verizon. And that's how I learned fiber optics. That's how I learned how to dig, how to stretch cables, bury cables, hook up, terminate, things of that nature. So when I first was going to turn pro, me and my first coach, we were with it. We were going to do it. We were going to get my pro license, all that stuff. He dies in 2011, and that kind of derails me with the pro thing. So I had to find another coach, of course, Jim. I find those things. And once I find those things, that's when I kind of started getting back into the realm of really boxing, really finding myself again. So in that midst, of course, I needed a job that was comparable for the wife, the kids. We had just had our third kid. So my father-in-law worked at the shipyard, a lot of other people, good money. So I decided to do it. And I worked my way up, pulling cable first. Took all the altitude tests, no college education, but I could pass the test. So I took all the altitude tests, took all the scheduling tests, took all the tests for fiber optics, things of that nature. And then I became what you call a nuclear electrician, was basically powering the nuclear reactors. I worked on advanced weapon systems. I have a secret level clearance. I've seen stuff. Honest to God, I've done jobs that are called one-on-ones. Like one job I know specifically I've done that's never been done on a submarine in history. So I have a couple things I've done that people will never. It's things that I've worked on that maybe three people will see the whole entire span of a naval vessel. So it was a blessing to work on some of the things I worked on while still making it comparable for my family. But the shipyard was a tool to be able to provide until I was able to provide fully through boxing. And 2019, I think, was the year where I was able to fully compensate my family and be able to do this full time.
I'm writing something down. There's a lot that you said. One of the things that I heard was work what you work till you can work what you want. We were just talking about that before you came on.
Yes, sir.
We were just talking about that. I think Junior said something about LOLD, limited options, limited desire.
Yeah.
Right. I said something earlier today about realizing that there was something called coaching that was subjugated for a specific population and then becoming a bridge to bring it to another demographic and population.
All
right?
truth.
Yes, sir. So you're talking about being consistent, working what you're working while you're building something else.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Yeah. Okay, leaders, business
I know
owners.
a lot of guys say that you can't. What's the saying? You can't do something full speed and 100%. You're never going to do it. I understand that method, but in all real factors of life, for me at least, if you have a wife, kids, sometimes you have to not postpone your dreams, but what I believe is you have to kind of set them to the side, but do it perfectly. So my time was monetized. So my manager, my coaches will tell you, and I've told you before, these are the reasons why I wake up at like 2:00 in the morning. So what I do is I wake up at 2:00 in the morning. I go to the gym so I can drive my daughter to school. So I offset my life to where I can still box full time at 100%, but still do the things I have to do as a father, as a man at home. I still have jobs and duties. So I believe that you can do something 100% eventually, as long as when you're consistent, you keep it perfect, you keep it true, and eventually it will work out for you, and you can change to where you can do that 100%. So now, 10 years later, you know what I mean? Life has flipped to where the guys, when I was younger and not fighting on TV, my friends were all fighting on TV. They were all making the money that I'm making now. So it's kind of like I tell people, my life's flipped. I stayed true to the process, and everything that was promised to me is coming. It may not come at the time that you wanted, but stay true and stay to that process.
Woo.
It'll work out for you.
Go back a minute. You said something about people making the money that you were making now. What happened to them? Where are they at now?
They fizzled out. People don't realize, so pretty much I was an amateur phenom. A lot of other guys were also. So on my national team.
Just one moment, Jerry. Just one moment. I got to stress this to everybody paying attention. I spoke last night for about 3 hours about setting a target and a long-term target, having a 5-year, 10-year, 20-year target, right? And setting micro steps, because you're not going to get there immediately. But as long as you stay the course. Now go right ahead, please, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, you have to stay real with it. When I was younger, say 25, 26, my friends were fighting on TV. Won't say any name, but we're all prospects. They had, I feel, a lot of opportunities that I didn't. I was pretty much on my national team. I'm like one of the older guys. I have the kids. So I had things that they were trying to get, I guess you could say, later in life. Now my kids are old. My daughter's 11 years old. My oldest son is 15. So I have a freedom to travel now. Back when I was younger, I had kids. My daughter, we had three kids in 5 years. We had 3 kids by 23 years old. So my life was a little differently back then. I couldn't just wake up, get up, and go. I had to work, come home, drop kids off, and then find ways to go to practice. In between picking, dropping off, and things of that nature. So I made it work. With the help of my grandparents and with my parents, my wife's parents, and my wife, dropping, picking off. We all made it work literally for boxing. So as a family, actually, we made it work so that I would be able to do this. Without my family, not just my wife, without my whole entire family, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, my mom, my dad, like we wouldn't be able to do it. They watch the kids, pick kids up, drop, still to this day. So, my success is heavily derivative on, of course, the people around me too. So when everyone see what you're doing correctly, they buy in. It's not easy to say, I'm gonna be a world champ, and everybody's kind of that's something that a lot of people don't believe or could even fathom.
Say
So
one more time. You said that so fast and you just kind of glossed over that. Say that
world
again.
champion.
Say it one more time.
World champion. I'm gonna be world
we
champion.
say around here, we say it with your chest, right?
Yes, sir.
Say it with your chest. Very good.
Well, the one thing I will tell you and all the listeners, just an FYI. You take this how you want to take it, but I'll never pray for someone else to win or have more success than me. That's just an FYI, and I tell that to everybody in the sense of my success is my success. I'm not a violent person. I don't want to hurt anybody. That's not the outlook of boxing. Boxing is actually a point thing, and it's a gentleman's sport. But at the same time, I'll never pray for someone else's success above mine. I'll always pray that they have safety and that they're taken care of in and out of the ring. But in life, it's all about winning, essentially. And I always tell people, if you can't equate winning to anything else, and people always say, it's messed up. No. If you're in the ring, there can only be one. And if there's a draw, then you usually fight again. So I just give this to everybody out there. You know what I mean? It can only be one. Never pray for someone's success more than yours. Always pray that they can meet you there or be there with you. But as a fighter, I would sound crazy saying, God, please give me all this power, but make me just as good. You know what I mean? Or make us both, or it can't be like that. There can only be one. So that's what drives me. That's what I explained to my family. And they got that. They bought into it, and they seen that I was serious about it. In the gym, like I said, 24/7. When the coach wasn't there, I have keys to the gyms. I have all the keys to the gyms here. I mean, everywhere. So, coaches would tell you. My coach would tell you. I pulled up a couple of months ago at 3:00 in the morning. One of my coaches fell asleep in the gym. He woke up, thought he was dreaming because I was shadow boxing. You know what I mean? So that's just where I am in life. Once you make the promise, man, that, no matter what, you're going to keep it real, you're going to keep it true. And if you're ever free from your job, you're going to give it 100%. And that's what I did. I'm no longer at the shipyard. So now I give that time to the craft, and it's just replaceable. And I'm replacing the income, and it's worth it.
So basically what you're saying is you got to put in every hour, every dollar, sweat equity into your passion and your dream to get better at it, to become the one.
Because that's your 100% for now. Everybody's 100% is different. My 100% was working in between of life. 9, 10 o'clock at night, sometimes 12 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning. It's all about what you do and how you do it perfectly. And when you get that locked in, nothing can stop you.
Guys, I hope you're picking up these principles. I hope you're picking up these principles and applying them to your business and your life. I say it all the time, business is war. You got to be a pugilist. You got to be a pugilist. And it's a craft, and it's an art. And it's an art. And let me just testify to what this gentleman just said. It is like trying to get water out of a rock to get him to pick up the phone. And I say that with all humility, right? I say that with all humility. I understand it. And working now in the sports space, I find that more and more often that athletes are so laser focused on their craft.
Yeah, if people only knew my day and my morning, what we do to the lights don't tell the story. It can never tell the story of what we do. It can never tell the story.
There we go. There we go. There we go. So listen, guys, if you want to be successful in your business, you might have to wake up a little bit earlier. You might have to put in a couple more hours than you think. You might have to put in a couple more tens of thousands of dollars than you think to really give yourself, your whole self, not 3/4 of yourself, but your entire self to the process to get where you want to go if you want to be the one or one of the ones. Now, we started talking about coaching, Jerry. So I wanted to ask you how important, because I heard you say that too, about when your coach passed, you kind of took a little bit of a dip. So I want you to tell the listeners how important coaching has been for you and your craft and your success to this point.
Coaching's actually the most humble thing. My first coach worked with Bilal Muhammad. He worked with Ali, Lennox Lewis, Tyson. So
let's go.
The way he learned was different. I just told kids yesterday in the gym, no lie. He was like, the coach tried to get me to come on the ring and explain some things to the kids, and I said, no, I just yell it from the ring. And one of the guys was like, when you get done, you're gonna coach. And I was like, no, because my process was different. The way that I was taught and learned, I feel that only certain people can do it that way. People don't have the patience for it. I was a guy that didn't even realize that my coach was teaching me perfect practice equals perfect. The things that I thought was a waste of time as an amateur wind up being my bread and butter as a pro. The most basic punches in boxing are 1-2s. If you look at my fights, I have what they usually call. I usually have the best jab in heavyweight boxing. The reason being, for 2 years almost, all my coach would have me do was throw the jab. I learned fast on the job. 3 weeks, I was like Golden Glove champion, all of these things. So he slowed me down, and we perfected 2 punches. 15 years later, to this day, if you look at any of my fights, my most dominating punch is the most simplest punch in boxing. And that's all contrast to my coach, literally for hours, days at a time, sitting there throwing 1-2, 1-2, and I never got almost like Karate Kid. You would never understand it until you get to a level where you see other people at the same level as you, and they haven't mastered the first 2 punches. So they're good, but they're not excellent because they don't have what you have as far as basic principles. So that's why any fight you see me in, you'll always hear I dominate the jab. Well, that's the most simple punch that you could possibly throw. But thrown effectively, thrown right, trained over time, over years, I tell people to this day, that's my most trained punch. I mean, if people don't get it, they don't. And I told the kids in the gym, I said, the only reason why I can't coach is because guys don't understand the process. If I was to tell you to throw the same punch for years, you probably won't understand it. You're gonna get impatient. You're gonna want to throw 2s and 3s and 4s, and that's not what it's about. And I try to tell kids, I win a fight with 2 punches. Championship rounds. These are world ranked people. 2 punches and basic principles of stepping, and I can't be beat. All my interviews, I tell people the same thing. That's what's your game plan? Stepping and boxing. I have no game plan besides boxing. I do what's adequate to the sport.
That's
Simple.
cool. I hope everybody's paying attention, right? Because what he said was sometimes the culture will have you do things that don't make any sense at all.
Mm-hmm.
It seems counter-conventional. However, it's the same thing practiced over and over again that didn't make any sense, that frustrated you, that made you feel like didn't have patience, that puts you right now in a championship seat, in a top seed fight on a major card,
Exactly.
just a couple of jabs away from the championship.
From a championship fight. Exactly.
Come on, man.
Yeah, like literally from this fight. This is yeah.
And this is what I want the listeners to understand. You're going to be told things in business that don't make sense. If you're working with the real coach, they're going to challenge you and hold you in one place to do one thing over and over and over and over and over and over again. And you're wondering, why, God, can't I just go get clients? I want clients. I want to scale. Everybody wants to scale their business, but they don't even have the foundation yet. They don't have the footwork.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the one punch.
Exactly. You know what I told the kid yesterday to them? My exact words to him was, I can't coach because I showed him, I said, everyone in here can throw all the punches. I said, but no one in here has mastered the jab yet. I said, so you guys are good, but you're going back to the basics right now to get your step right. After being here for a year, because you wanted to throw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You wanted to throw the hook. You wanted to get in the ring and spar. You wanted to do this. So no one wanted to jump rope. No one wanted to go swim. No one just hitting the mountain. Guys don't want to do that. There's only a couple guys from the team that was there today. So it sounds good and everybody wants to do so. You know what, Mr. Reyes, everybody wants to play something. You can't play boxing. Life, you can't play in life. So, everybody wants to play something. They kind of want to, that I'm a boxer. I'm in the gym. You can't, boxing's similar to, you can't play life. You can't play boxing. Eventually, in the ring is going to show. Life, what is it? Public success and private failure is going to show eventually. Your truth is going to show. Your truth is going to show. So with boxing, life, you stay true, it's going to pay off.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So listen, I know you got to run. I know we talked about it earlier. I know 9 o'clock is your hour, but I wanted to ask you one more question before we leave, if that's okay.
Anything.
Okay. At this point, how many coaches do you have?
This is going to sound crazy. I haven't had my head coach for 2 years. So even fighting all of these championship fights, fighting championship rounds, my actual coach, still talk to him all the time. Talked to him the other day. He's still unable to coach me. He balloons in his arteries. He may be able to come back this year. He may not be. My manager, we had a first thing called a faith contract. We've been together for almost 10 years now. He called me. He was like, look, Chase can't do it. I'm telling him Chase can't do it. He was like, well, look, just come down to Ashburn with us. We'll take care of you. We'll make sure that you're ready for these fights. So my manager and the coaches in that gym have actually helped dedicate their time to me. And the gym has opened up for me, so that we can host camps and kind of get there until, everything falls in place. But my coaches or my head coaches at this time right now for sure and possibly forever is the Ashburn Boxing Academy in Ashburn, Virginia. The coach there, Craig, Pete, those guys, they definitely helped me. Pat, work, and my manager. So, we do it. It's a family thing. So
that's right.
We're still here, but it's a team. I came up and they opened the doors for me. So that's how I'm able to still do what I'm doing.
You can't play boxing. You can't play life. You can't play business. And coaching is the key to everything. You said the most humble thing. You said the most humble thing is coaching.
Yeah, because, well, people don't realize a coach, it's not easy to coach me. I'm going to tell you now, honestly.
Yes.
It's not easy to coach me because I think I can beat everybody. So it's the coach will tell me some things yesterday. I'm not going to do that in a fight. I'm like, that's not, you know what I mean? They're like, sometimes, he's going to hit you with this. I'm like, he's not going to hit you. You know what I mean? And that's just me being a fighter. But as a coach, you have to be humble to understand that I am a fighter and I have that inside of me. So anything you say challenging us man wise, I'm gonna of course overstep and say you can't do it. But as a fighter, you have to be humble because you have to listen to the coach and know that even though you're the stronger, faster person, you still have to do what that coach says. So it's a give on both ends. The coach has to be humble to understand that a fighter will sometimes get involved in itself and we'll feel ourselves, and you still have to coach us up and have poise and patience to where we can actually get to where we're trying to get to. But the fighter has to be humble enough to learn. I mean, you got to realize at this level, I still have to be, hey, you didn't throw that punch right. Hey, you didn't step. Oh, you're not lifting your foot. So I have to be able to receive the information and process and actually put that forth. So on both sides, you have to be humble. You have to have some kind of I'm not gonna say heart, compassion for the opposite person because you're looking at that person in their eyes. So as we're doing pad work, I'm looking you in your eyes. You're looking me in my eyes. So when something's off with either one, we see it. So it's an intimate sport, but it's a humbling sport. You know what I mean? He can tell when it's something that I don't agree with and it's something that he don't agree with. But together we know that it's for a common purpose. So we make it work.
Put some flames in the chats, guys. If you enjoy Slugger, man, put some flames in the chat. If you enjoy the wisdom that you're hearing from a completely different sport and how it translates over into boxing and life, put some flames in the chat. If you can understand and appreciate this gentleman that has a family, he's a father, a husband, and his fight is on the 14th.
Yes,
Where can people follow you, brother? Now, let me just say this too. Jerry Slugger Forrest is the latest entrant into the leadership leverage as well. So he's family now. Follow him, support everything that he's doing. Google him, boost his name up. He'll be on calls and you'll be seeing more of him. But if you had a last word, Slugger, if you had a last word for people who are struggling and people who are in the beginning stages of building their business and they're not as young as they thought they might be when they made the transition and they got some things going that might be playing against them, some circumstances, and they've got families to take care of, and this is like their last gun at it, or they feel like it's their last run at it, what would be your words to that person?
I'm one of the oldest people right now on a track to be a world champion, literally. And if I do it, when I do it, how I do it, I'll be probably the oldest one to do it. It's consistency is the key. Stay true to yourself. Practice doesn't make perfect, but perfect practice makes perfect. So just stay consistent, but do it the correct way. Stay true to the process and do it the right way, and it'll work out for you. Goodness always prevails. I always say dark is actually all the colors of the spectrum. So when you understand who you are and what you are, you're there. So just keep it consistent and stay true. Consistency, stay true, stay humble. And as long as you step on that righteous and true path, good things are going to always work out for you.
Let's go. And how important is it to listen to the coach?
Very. You have to be in this game. You have to be coachable. In life, you have to be coachable. But in what I do, I have to be coachable. I can't see in my life. I can't see punches thrown, so I have to see it through the eyes of the coach. And we can't see the future, so we have to listen to those elders. I'm telling you, it's all the same. It's all the same. But I can't see those things, so I have to listen to the coach. And that's why I say when I feel I'm doing something right, the coach will tell me you do that wrong just now. I have to be humble enough to understand. Okay, it feels right, but it's not right.
It feels right, but it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
I hope you guys are writing this down and taking it away. We're about to go over into the challenge, guys. Thank you so much, Jerry, for giving us your time and for being humble and being sincere. I got a question to ask you, though. One final question.
No worries.
It's a question. It's a question that I gotta ask because I love boxing, bro. I promise you, I love boxing. Everybody knows I opened up my courses with boxing, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
I got one question to you, and as soon as I say it, you're gonna know who it came from. What round? What round, Slugger? Tell me what round.
So in the gym, they playing around. They're calling right now. They're saying the 6th round. They're calling it, yeah. They're saying the 6th round. I don't do any predictions, but the coaches and
Sixth round, guys. So you heard it here first on Breakfast with the Brand, guys. Sixth round. The opponent goes down. Jerry Slugger Forrest, Shaan Rais, Junior Frederick. Thank you so much, brother. And we'll be in touch ASAP. Get you up in there. Thank you so much again, brother. And
no problem at all. Blessings to y'all. Have a great one.
all right. Take us out, Mr. B.